live on your tablet, phone, and the KUTV app. This is 2 News Live.
Yes, it is. Thanks for joining us on 2 News Live. I'm Brian Schnee. It is Tuesday, May 16th. We're going in depth tonight on a number of topics. Of course, you and me and everyone else have experienced the potholes that come after the winter months. Paul Nelson joins us in just a few minutes with an in-depth look at that. Meteorologist Chase Thomason is here, and also taking a look at the housing market with our guru, Daniel Woodruff, joining us in just a moment. Let's get you caught up on today's top headlines. The city of Holiday declaring a state of emergency today. Closed a portion of a city park as the area is threatened by floodwaters. This declaration will allow the city to gain financial help and other resources if the spring runoff heavily affects this city. President Joe Biden held a second meeting this afternoon with leaders of Congress about the debt ceiling. President Biden is canceling parts of his upcoming trip overseas because of the looming deadline. Back here in Utah now, 5 new gates now open at the Salt Lake Airport. Does this eliminate the gauntlet walk to the B gates? I don't know. The first flight from the new gates took off to Atlanta this morning, another Delta hub. I'm just told this does not impact the walk. This is all part of phase 2, however, of the airport expansion. This build out in Concourse A will eventually have 22 gates when finished. There's a lot more work to be done there too. Happening tomorrow, a special legislative session at the Capitol. Utah lawmakers will address boosting money for flooding, changes to a Utah gun bill, and death benefits in the Firefighters Retirement Act. We talked about this with Senate President Stuart Adams last week. If you'd like to find that, it's on our YouTube channel. But you can always go in depth tonight. Join us with the hashtag 2NewsLive to join the conversation. You can always find us on the socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Send me a direct message, any of those places to weigh in. Let's go in depth tonight. Frustration in Ogden as drivers say they're dealing with more potholes all over the roads. One woman says a pothole caused thousands of dollars of damage to her vehicle, and she's confused as to where she needs to go to file a claim. Hopefully someone with the answers is our Paul Nelson. He spoke with her. Paul, what else is she saying to you?
Well, she was telling me how this particular pothole, she was driving right here along Midland Drive in Ogden. She didn't see it coming. It was dark, and there was no way she could have avoided it. And she says she slammed right into it. And you'll see the damage at 6 o'clock, but you could see her front bumper. Basically, she can take it and shake it now, estimating that the damage would be around $2,500 worth to her car. As far as the number of potholes along this road, Ogden City officials say it's not exclusive to just one road. It's all over the place because they've had an unprecedented amount. Just in the month of April, they filled 1,100 potholes alone. Just that month, overall, they've had about 4,500 this season.
Paul, do you get the sense that this is a priority for folks in Ogden to fix? I mean, Ogden's not unique in this. There are many other cities dealing with pothole problems.
No, they're not. Exactly. And so what it does appear, the city managers do say they are trying. This particular year, they've had just more potholes than ever before, but they have doubled the amount of crews actually working on the potholes, at least since the past 4 weeks. So they are increasing their efforts to try to get all these potholes filled. In Olivia Martinez's case, if the road is actually operated by Ogden City, then you need to make a claim with their risk management. That's the department that they would need to go to.
Paul Nelson live for us in Ogden tonight on Pothole Patrol. Paul, as always, we appreciate you. KUTV 2 News working for you by staying on Pothole Patrol. We do this all the time. If you've got bad potholes in your neighborhood, grab your phone right now, scan the QR code, and share on Chime In. And be sure to email our very own Kristen McPeak, who is always on the Pothole Patrol. Her email is there, kmcpeek@sbgtv.com. We will come out to your neighborhood, do what we can to get those potholes filled and repaired, and hopefully ask some of those tough questions for you. Also going in depth tonight on the housing market. A new report says rent prices are cooling across the United States. Daniel Woodruff joining us live now. Daniel, I think everyone wants to know, is that the case here in Utah? Are the rent prices cooling here?
Well, they've cooled, Brian, for sure. They're not going up as fast as they were, but the bad news is they're still going up, unlike other states. Interesting, this report from Redfin showed that rents have really dropped a lot in Austin, Texas. They've also dropped in Phoenix, Arizona, and Las Vegas, Nevada. But here in Utah, right in that same region, rents continue to go up. The Utah Rental Housing Association estimates that they'll go up another 5 to 7% each year. And the Kempsey Gardner Policy Institute agrees with that, saying that there's still a lot of growth here in Utah and a lot of demand for rental housing.
Our Daniel Woodruff live for us tonight talking about housing. Daniel, as always, we thank you for this, and we know that you've covered a ton about housing over the years, so please go to KUTV.com. You could probably search Daniel's name and find half the articles he's done on our housing issues and everything that you want to know about in terms of rent, the housing market, you name it. We want to hear from you at home. How would you describe your housing situation? Scan the QR code on your screen right now to weigh in. Let's take a look at the poll, shall we? The question, how would you describe your housing situation? 48% of you saying, I'm afraid my rent will increase. I had a feeling a lot of you would say that. Competing next at 23% says, I cannot afford my home. And then tied at 14% paying rent without problems, paying mortgage without problems. So a majority of you are concerned about the financials. We feel you. Let's take a live look right now at some of our traffic conditions. Oh, 'tis the time of night. It is the commute. It is the snarl in Murray. Everyone hits it. I will hit it on the way home heading south. It's inevitable at this point. I-15, 41st South in Murray. So I think you know what to expect. If you leave at this time of day, or if you're heading back into the city this time of day, it looks something like that, Chase. We're in the building right now. So no traffic issues for me. Let's take a live look across the Salt Lake Valley now. Beautiful view, little clouds there mixed in with some sun peeking through, perhaps a view from our rooftop cam of the second highest building maybe in downtown Salt Lake City. It's pretty close, Wells Fargo building here in downtown Salt Lake. I think you know this.
I think it's the top. However, it's going to change.
It's going to change, right?
They're building a
well, the
new
reason
building.
why I said second is because I look at the construction every day. Yesterday, they were hoisting the porta potty to the 5th floor. So it always makes for an interesting experience.
Eventually,
yes.
By probably next year, we'll be seeing it going past the Wells Fargo building.
Anyway, I just want to tell everyone out there, I was on the road a lot today. I drove over to Eastern Nevada today. We were working on another story over there. Had some rain move through. The people I was talking to out there said, hey, it's been hailing. I mean, really just crazy weather with some severe storms moving through. It looks pleasant, though, when you look from the rooftop cam tonight.
Very almost summer-like.
Yeah.
We typically see this kind of pattern where we got warm temperatures in the afternoon, 80s, and then we get these pop-up thunderstorms that can produce gusty winds, a little bit of hail, brief rain, and then you're in the clear, right?
You are, and when I was out there, I noticed higher elevation peaks. I mean, there's still snow up there.
Oh, yeah.
Eastern Nevada, even more it looks like from afar, looking at parts of the Wasatch Front.
So we got some changes now. Within the last couple of days, we're now beginning to melt that high elevation snowpack. It really hasn't been changing last several weeks. Within the last few days, though, it's starting to drop as temperatures have started to climb. Now, I want to show you this big number, 63.6. That's how much water is in that snowpack up at Snowbird. So that's just above 9,000 feet. It's dropped now 12%. So there's still 88% of that high elevation snow in some areas remains.
I was running back in the building a little after 4 o'clock. I caught you mentioning during your forecast, and one of your forecasts at 4 o'clock, about how really the issue could be coming now with the 80s, the 80s, the 80s, the 80s.
And it's not changing.
It could be our flooding problems. We've already seen some there. I mean, we've done a lot of news coverage on this and a lot of reporting of localized flooding in certain areas. This could be the time of year where we see the concern.
I mean, we don't want the flooding, but we hope it stays just localized.
Right.
I am concerned, though, about people getting too close to that water.
Well, we've already had issues.
Little Cottonwood Creek, yeah, we've had some issues, and it looks like it's going to be even more dangerous as it gets even higher, especially here in the Salt Lake Valley coming out of those Cottonwood Canyons.
Can't emphasize that enough. Let's take a look at your forecast.
Right, let's get to that forecast. As I mentioned, Brian, it's going to stay very warm for the next really couple weeks, and as we head into your forecast, we're going to be seeing those temperatures staying about 10 degrees above normal, 82 degrees today in Salt Lake City. So yeah, we're warm, but if you're lucky enough to get underneath one of those showers, it can drop your temperature 10, 15, sometimes 20 degrees, but definitely staying warm going forward. 70s and 80s across the state, even in our mountain valleys. St. George today very close to 90 degrees, but St. George, you got a little rain today. Those rain chances hovering right around 30% today, tomorrow. It's that same pattern, bubbling up over the mountains, 1 or 2 drifting to the valleys. Some folks stay dry, some folks get a little bit of rain. Thursday, rain chances up to 40%, but does look like some drier air will be moving in by the end of the week and into the weekend. So you can see some of these showers out to our west. They were a bit stronger out in Nevada, but they're starting to fall apart. We'll see once they get closer to the Wasatch Front if we get anything out of them, but can't rule out some gusty winds, a little bit of rain, a few storms down in southeastern Tooele County trying to push into Utah County. We've had a little bit of rain towards Brigham City and Cache Valley, just not very widespread, very hit or miss. Same thing across the southern half of the state, and really within the last hour, these showers have definitely showing signs that they're just falling apart. It's that daytime heating that gets things going, and then once it cools off a little bit, we lose that energy. So you'll see these showers just fall apart later tonight. Still can't rule out 1 or 2 lingering showers. And then by tomorrow afternoon, here we go again. If you got a mountain to your west, there's a chance that'll be coming your direction. They're moving from west to east. So the northern end of the Wasatch Front, you got the Great Salt Lake, so your chances are a little bit lower. Those storms continue throughout the afternoon and evening, and then again, we'll do it again on Thursday. Look at these temperatures. They don't move very much. Upper 70s and low 80s for a good chunk of northern and central Utah. Even Park City and Evanston getting close to 70 tomorrow afternoon. Of course, hotter down in St. George near 90. So we got this ridge of high pressure overhead. We also have, it's a little unusual, a weak storm to our south and a weak storm to our north. It's all helping to pump up that moisture into Utah. This storm that passes by on Thursday could bring a better chance for a few storms in northern Utah. And then this high moves on top of northern Utah, so hotter over the weekend and drier. But with this weak storm to our south, still a little bit of moisture down in southern Utah, so we can't rule out some spotty storms. High moves, though, by next week. This storm gets a little bit closer, and that will pump up a little bit more moisture into Utah with that southwesterly flow, and so our rain chances will be going back up. St. George hovering right around 90 degrees. Isolated storms tomorrow and on Thursday. Friday could be a dry day, more isolated storms over the weekend. Highs near 90 and staying in the low 90s into early next week. Each day, those rain chances roughly at 20%, but definitely higher at those national parks and over the mountain areas. Salt Lake, can't rule out those isolated storms through Thursday. Thursday is going to be probably our coolest day, but it's still above normal by about 5 degrees. We'll be in the low 80s as we head into the weekend, and I think Sunday will be our warmest day. Could feel quite hot out there, well into the 80s, and then our rain chances going back up Monday and Tuesday. A very June-like pattern and not what we typically see here in the month of May. So staying warm, melting a lot of that snow. Please be safe. I
would like to use this platform to show a little humility today. I did not put on sunscreen and I got burnt. So
yep.
Things changed rather quickly. I had to powder up a little extra makeup today to make sure I didn't look like a bright red cherry on TV. Obviously, it's more than that. It's about protecting your skin. So as the temperatures change,
though,
I mean, really, don't be afraid to lather it on.
I didn't do that today, and I was out in the yard doing a lot of yard work.
Yeah,
but
well, you don't look like you got cooked.
I got some trees, a little bit of shade.
Speaking of a unique situation for all of us right now this time of year.
Several days.
This is by the way, UDOT put this camera up on a trailer. They do this from time to time given some situations. You may remember the weather incident that happened I-15, that Meadow-Kanash area, that had basically low visibility. They ended up putting a trailer there too after that devastating incident. This is a little different. This is showing floodwaters from Thistle Creek, basically
Highway 89.
Yeah, Highway 89, Utah County. This is an area that 40 years ago had that very memorable flooding situation. This is a roadway here that they've been trying so hard to just keep open, and yesterday,
this is new, though.
the berm. Well, this was today they put this up.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so Trent put out a video, weather producer Trent put out a video on social media earlier today of one of the UDOT trucks moving through this area, and I caught it while I was on my way back from Nevada. So they must have just put this berm back in here in place to try to divert the
funnel
water.
and divert the water back off the road, but there's still lots of water on the road, so this might be closed for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine this is an ongoing situation, but luckily for some, a road less traveled. But if you live in the Fairview area, if you commute to Spanish Fork from that area each day or head over towards Price, this could be a well-known cut through. So I feel for you if you have to take that long drive around. Chase, thank you. Remember to download our 2 News weather app to know about changes in your neighborhood, get updated forecasts, some live radar right to your phone. The app is free to download. I guess you're not allowed to go anywhere. Let's take a look at what's trending on our website right now. KUTV.com. Chase is sticking around here. He's behind things. Okay. Let's talk through our website real quick. Trending story, something that we put out yesterday. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints issuing a very brief statement following the 60 Minutes report on the handling of church finances. That stems from that 60 Minutes report from Sunday. It's a story you probably saw right here. If you are a 60 Minutes viewer, you saw it. It's about 13 minutes long. It was on our air on Sunday night, alleging a misuse of finances. Also on there, another local story, Utah woman battling a rare, severe skin reaction to anxiety medication. That's gotten a lot of people talking about it. Some other national news on there as well. A Utah man getting $10K after finding a deer shed antler in a treasure hunt. And then, of course, some more of our daily news there in the trending section. As always, you can find all of these stories on our website, KUTV.com, and also on the KUTV mobile app. You can download on your Apple App Store or Google Play. We are everywhere. Our warmer temps may have you thinking about hot summer days in Park City. Today,
well, it's cooler up in Park City.
It is cooler, so if you want to maybe beat the heat or at least shave off 10 degrees from those valley highs. Today, resort leaders shared Park City Mountain Village Adventure Park. It will be open on June 16th.
If you're new to Utah, this is usually on everyone's to-do list at least once. Okay?
I haven't been.
You haven't been yet?
No, can you believe it?
Well, then you're not in Utah officially.
See, well,
there you go.
I need to.
This
is something I need to do.
All right, so this year you can expect to see the Alpine Slide, that's it, Mountain Coaster, and the mini golf at the Adventure Park. Doors will be open at 10 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. 7 days a week. Resort leaders added the Canyons Village is set to open June 30th. So right now, it's what we call mud season in our mountain communities. Things will get going, though, after Memorial Day, and it's those Alpine Slides. That, at least growing up here in Utah, vivid memories of racing my siblings down those Alpine Slides.
Something I need to do this summer, I'm also, as you know, Chase, I love mini golf, right? Because I like the game of golf. My short game is miserable, so maybe I will have to go work on the mini golf.
You can work
game.
on it, yes.
I can work on it there.
Saw a couple 3-putts the other day.
Oh my gosh, way too many. The score ballooned rather quick on the back nine. Thanks for watching 2 News Live. We are here Monday through Friday at 5:30. Hope you join us again tomorrow for some more in-depth conversations, a number of topics. Have a great rest of your Tuesday evening. We are back tomorrow.